English translations are divided at the end of 1 Timothy 1 verse 12. The NASB and the NIV have "what I have entrusted to him," referring to Paul entrusting his life or his destiny to God. The ESV and NET translate the phrase "what has been entrusted to me," referring to the gospel itself, or more broadly, the gospel ministry that God has entrusted to Paul. So, what has been entrusted and to whom? The Greek phrase parathēkē mu simply means "my deposit." So either option is grammatically valid and gloriously true. The word parathēkē occurs in the New Testament only 2 other times. The first is in 1 Timothy 6:20. Here, the phrase is simply "the deposit." Note that Timothy is the one doing the guarding, and that the deposit is implied to be the body of sound doctrine which he has received, which stands in contrast to what is falsely called knowledge. The other occurrence of parathēkē is in verse 14 of our text. The full context and its connection to verse 12 is helpful. What has been entrusted to Paul is parallel to what Paul has entrusted to Timothy, namely the pattern of sound words which he spoke to Timothy. Parathēkē is the verb form of parathēkē. It means to set before or to entrust. The charge Paul entrusts to Timothy is a charge to teach what accords with sound doctrine, namely the gospel and its implications for all of life, and to warn those who teach and practice otherwise. Paul has entrusted the full body of sound doctrine to Timothy. He is to likewise entrust it to other faithful men, and they, in turn, are to pass it on still to others. So, the weight of evidence, especially the immediate context with verses 13 to 14, indicates the deposit being entrusted is the whole sum of gospel ministry rooted in sound doctrine. Yet, it is also clear in verse 12 that Paul has entrusted this deposit to God's care. So in conclusion, an unexpected third blended option presents itself. Paul is speaking of entrusting the gospel ministry back to God. That is, just as God entrusted Paul with the gospel ministry, so Paul entrusts the fruit of that ministry to God's care, for he is able to protect it.
This is unlike any study Bible you have ever seen. It might just plunge you into your own deeper study of Scripture. Go to BibleArk.com, the shape, not the boat, to download the Study Bible app and join the expedition as we explore the breadth and length and depth of Scripture.